side, gets a block down the sideline, end zone, touchdown!
Colorado upsets 13th-ranked Penn State.
Center left foot shot off the post, taken on the line, goal for the Buffaloes.
Blitz coming, Spade in trouble, the ball's loose, scooped up by Colorado, and a big man running all the way in. To the corner for Carrington, intercepted! Colorado got it! Witherspoon with the biggest play in Colorado football for years. Well, for the first time since joining the Pac-12, the Buffaloes are above 500 in conference play as they open up this season 1-0 as they knock off the Oregon Ducks here in Eugene, Oregon, 41-38. Hard-fought victory. Coach Gary Barnett, Mark Johnson. What do you say about that one?
Well, there's not much to say, Mark, except it was just one heck of a football game, and you know, I got a feeling they're all going to be like this year, and you know, it was a courageous effort by both sides of the ball. It wasn't pretty. There were things about it that were pretty. Some unbelievable catches, you know, that we got a chance to get reviewed, and we lost one and won two. Unbelievable catches, and then I think we witnessed a legendary performance by a young quarterback who a week ago made a mess in his diapers, and now a week later, you know, he's the guy. So it was a great experience being a part of it.
Gary's talking about Stephen Montez. That's not hyperbole when he says legendary. For the first time ever, a Colorado quarterback went over 300 yards passing, over 100 yards rushing. He had 3 touchdowns, set records for total offense, for rushing in a debut by a Colorado quarterback. Montez was outstanding.
And gutty. I mean, he was beat up. Twice in the broadcast, I told you he's hurt, and he could barely get himself up. The doctors were taping him back together, and he would not come out of the game. And you know, he wasn't taking a chance on his health, and they weren't going to let him do that. But he had the resolve to go in and lead this football team. And you know, I give credit to the coaches. I give credit to Brian Lindgren, Mike McIntyre, to getting him ready. All the coaches, offensively and defensively, for getting him ready to play this football game at the level he played it.
I have a tendency to say that the defense wasn't great today. They gave up about 500 yards of offense. It was against Oregon, which is a very powerful offensive team, but that unit made plays when it needed to.
It did, and they got tired. That's 2 up-tempo offenses that were out there, and our defense, we didn't take a lot of guys out. I mean, we played most of those big guys the whole game, and Jim Leavitt told them that. He says, we're not going to be able to take you out of this game, and so they sort of put it in their minds, and that's the way they played. So it was a courageous performance by everybody. We had 2 kickers step in and take the place of Diego Gonzalez that couldn't play, and they did it. They really did well. Chris missed 1 extra point because he kicked it a little low, Chris Graham, but you know, everybody did their job.
Davis Price, true freshman. He was kicking the ball off for the Buffaloes. Did a nice job there. Put this in perspective now. And I think Stan Brock, the Buff great who was on the sideline for it, put it in great perspective when he said, there's great value in this. Because Oregon didn't give the game away. In fact, the Buffs were up, fell behind, and then they had to go back and take this victory. There's value from a learning perspective in that.
Well, absolutely. You put it in the tank. You have it there. You know it's been done. And the next time you're in this situation, you don't doubt yourself. You know that it can happen. And it might happen on the last play, as this one did. But you know it's there. You know this team fight. And what happens is you come to really depend and trust each other after a game like this.
Yeah. Buffaloes, again, almost 600 yards of offense in this ball game. Pretty impressive. Now, as we said to many of the kids on the air afterward, this is one step. Now there's more work to be done, correct?
Well, I can't imagine this team thinking it has arrived. I mean, if you have to go down to the last play of the game and make a play, and you make some mistakes along the way and finally make a play, I don't think it's an arrival kind of thing for them. I think this is a journey, and they're on it, and they're waiting for the next one.
Buffaloes get an awful nice win, though. They're 3-1 of the season after a close call last week against Michigan, against the top 5 team. They come back and are able to finish off the ball game here today. Now you got Oregon State coming up next week, and then you and I were talking the broadcast. This team's got to go out. There are games that Colorado should win. You want to try and sneak one out, but I mean, this is going to be an interesting, I think, adventure through the last
Well, it is,
schedule.
and I got to wear the same clothes now. Now we've started another winning streak, so But no, I mean, this is every game in this league. That's a much improved team in Corvallis, and you heard Stan Brock told us about how much better they're getting. So they've got to go out and play their fannies off because it's a Pac-12 team that they're going to play.
Get yourself some tickets. The Buffaloes have got the Beavers coming to town next week. That's an early game at 12:30 Mountain Time kickoff. Gary and I and Tyler Columbus are going to hit the air at 10:30 in the Colorado Football Network with the Buffalo Stampede. And the Buffs and the Beavers next week. We'll see if they go to 2-0. Boy, it's never happened in Pac-12 conference play. Coming up next, what a game. We're going to talk to quarterback Steven Montez as we continue on the Stampede.
This is Neil Welk from CUBuffs.com. Colorado's coming off a big 41-38 win over Oregon, put them atop the Pac-12 South standings. That's someplace they haven't been for a long time. But the thing they need to concentrate now is Oregon State. Oregon State comes in here this weekend, 12:30 start at Folsom Field. And I think what the Buffs have to make sure they do is go out and take care of business. I think what we've seen from this team so far this year is the ability to do just that. They had a big win in the first week, 44-7 over Colorado State. They came back and took care of business against Idaho State, and I think that's their same mantra this weekend is they have to come in and take care of business. Don't have a letdown, play well, treat it like it's the most important game of the year, because honestly it is. It's the most important game of the season. They need to jump out to a 2-0 start in Pac-12, something they haven't done. That would be a big start for them. So I think this is a very big game for them. How they react after that win at Oregon will be very important, and I think we'll see a good team this weekend.
Attack! 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 That's our winning edge! That's our winning edge! Dominate! Like we said all week! Okay. Uncommon attitude out there today. Uncommon character. Uncommon attitude, uncommon character. As the game goes, just keep going. You got it in you, man. It's in your soul. It's in your heart. Play Colorado football. Fast and tough. Fast and tough. Just play Colorado football. Don't worry about what they're doing. Okay? Players make plays! Players win games! Welcome to the fight, man. Let's go win!
Welcome back to the Stampede. What a victory, 41-38. Buffaloes go on the road, open up Pac-12 conference play. They knock off Oregon last week, and a big reason was this young guy right here, Steven Montez, redshirt freshman out of El Paso, Texas. What a game for you. Talk about the overall experience of that. I mean, you get thrown into the starting lineup and looked like you'd been there a dozen times.
Oh, yes, sir. Outson was crazy, but, wherever you go, you got to be prepared, and you got to be prepared to go in there and get a win, especially for your team.
The week before, you got thrown in late at Michigan, all right? That was kind of a tough situation. There's a difference, though, when you've got a full week of preparation. You're taking the snaps. You're part of the game plan. You know you're going to play. That's a totally different experience, isn't it?
Yes, sir. So much different. So many more reps in practice, and just being prepared mentally and physically for the game it just gives you an advantage going out there.
I know you're focused on the game, obviously, but afterward, when you find out you broke Darian Hagan's rushing record for a quarterback in a game, you broke, the 300-100 thing. That never happened in Colorado history. A quarterback throwing for 300 yards and rushing for 100. That's pretty heady stuff right there.
It's exciting, but we still have so much more to go in the season. It's individual awards are nice, but a Pac-12 championship and ultimately a national championship is going to taste so much sweeter if we work hard.
After the game, we had you on the radio, and in the post-game, you were talking to Stan Brock, and he asked you about your performance. And one of the first things you pointed out were the 2 interceptions, and you said, "I can't do that." You're really taking responsibility for that.
Yeah, that's completely on me. That's nobody else's fault but mine, and I just can't do that and just. Take it as an experience and learn from it. Move on.
And I'd have to imagine, and I think you talked a little bit about this as well, the guys around you, some of the veterans, they were really encouraging you during the game, weren't they?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Even after the 2 big interceptions, they were still behind me 100%. Like I said, everybody makes mistakes, and we're still behind you 100%, and we're still fully confident in you to get this win for us.
What's the most memorable moment of that game? On the field, I'm talking about.
Got to be Bryce Bobo's one-handed catch. Got to be.
Never in doubt, right?
It's never in doubt. Not once. Not once. They took one away from him early, and then he went, redeemed himself, got it back. So
it's got to be awful nice as a quarterback when you've got guys out there. Bobo, Shea Fields, Devin Ross had a huge game, 150-some yards receiving.
The list could go on.
Right, just to feel the confidence that if I throw it up, those guys are going to make a play on it.
Oh yeah, of course. It's a blessing to have receivers like that, because you make a mistake, you don't put the ball exactly where it needs to be. They can definitely go get it and make plays and cover your behind.
You know, I'm not sure people knew that you could run like that. Where'd that come from?
Just conditioning in the off season. And I used to run a little bit in high school, so maybe just had to show off the legs a little bit.
You know, the one thing I think that impressed me during the game as well, and again, we had Stan Brock on the sideline. He reported on this a couple of times. Cepho was out there. He was encouraging you. He was coaching you. I mean, he was very active on the sidelines, wasn't he?
Oh, he was. I always say that Cepho was a great friend and just a huge tool. He encouraged me the entire game. It was unbelievable. He's just an unbelievable guy, unbelievable person, just unbelievable teammate.
What do you think you've learned from a veteran like that?
I mean, he's taught me a great amount of stuff. I can't put it all in words, and just to study and focus and just be a great teammate, you know, things, and just stay strong. Things might not be going our way, and the tide switched completely around the third quarter, and he said, you know, just stay in it because we're going to get back in it. You know, he's just super confident in everybody, and just he's always behind everybody no matter what the circumstances.
Well, what's the best moment maybe afterward? Did you get a text or a tweet from somebody that was kind of cool?
What was pretty cool is Nelson Spruce texted me and said, "Big win, good job."
Guy in the NFL.
Yeah, it was cool. It was awesome hearing from him.
That's hell of a cool. You know, this team has still got a lot to prove, though, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. We got so much more to go. We're only 4 games deep in the season right now.
Yep.
We have so much more to go and so much more to learn, so much more work ahead of us.
Is that the thing that maybe is most impressive about this group right now, is the fact that you guys are still hungry? You don't take anything for granted. You know you've got more to prove than if the following week.
Oh yeah, we're starving, and this is, like I said, this is a different Colorado Buffs team. Just something different that I've been around in my life. It's just everyone's got a chip on their shoulder, and we're always ready to work.
So you guys go out and get the lead. Now Oregon's driving in that game. Tedrick Thompson had a chance to put an end to it. He knocked a pass away, nearly an interception. Did you doubt at that point, at any time, that defense was going to make a play, though, to seal that thing for you?
No, you can never doubt. You can never doubt your defense, because, I mean, we're all the Buffs, and it's never over till the clock strikes 0. So I knew that we always still had a chance, and I had faith that somebody would get it done for us.
Well, it was a great performance by this young guy. 300 yards passing, 100 yards rushing, and a victory over the Oregon Ducks in Eugene. Keep up the good work.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, that's redshirt freshman Steven Montez, the guy that did seal it at Keller Witherspoon. He's going to join us next as we continue here in the Stampede.
Montez going to the end zone for Bobo.
After review, the receiver had the ball in his right hand with his right foot on the ground. Touchdown.
Wow. Welcome back to the Stampede. Buffalo's coming off their conference season opening victory, 41-38 at Oregon this past weekend. It was in doubt until the waning seconds. This guy right here, number 23, Keller Witherspoon, the defensive back out of Sacramento, California, got that big interception. Hey, before we talk about that, where you sealed that game, let's talk about the overall game going in. But give us kind of the mindset of this team heading into a big ball game like that. You're coming off a close loss at Michigan, jumping into conference play, very good program in Oregon. Talk about how you guys were feeling heading into that game.
Yeah, we were really focused on just keeping moving forward as a team. After a loss, after a win, we always stress just come out every day and play Colorado football. And going into Oregon, we knew they had a great team, athletes at skill positions, and we just knew we had to play our game, and that's what we did. When
you're a defensive player, and you know on the offensive side of the ball, you got a senior quarterback that's not playing due to injury, redshirt freshman, talented guy, but he hasn't been out there in the fire at this point. Is there a sense of responsibility, fellas, on the defense? We need to pick this thing up to help out that offensive side?
Yeah, definitely. Coach Levitt always preaches when we go on the road, you have to pack the defense regardless. So we take a lot of pride in that. And then for Steven Montez to go out there and play as well as he did, that even encouraged us even more. Like, hey, this man's laying on the line for us. Yep. Let's do the same.
Go back. You're a defensive back, but you got to appreciate that catch that Bryce Bowman made, don't you?
Man, it was incredible. I've seen him do it too often out here at practice that it's not even surprising anymore.
I was joking. I was going to start calling him Odell. I'm not sure he's there yet.
Yeah, not there.
But I may start messing with that. But that was a great moment. Yeah. One-handed grab. Did you doubt he was in?
No, not at all.
No?
The second I saw it, because he stuck the ball real well. It didn't move, it didn't wobble, and the foot was down, so I knew it was a touchdown.
You go against him in practice. Does he have that kind of athleticism and body control?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ask anybody, that's one of the things he's great at is his hands. He wears a 4X glove, and he just comes down with balls, one hand, two hand. He has a real knack for coming down with them.
You know, I think in recent years, Paul Richardson, Nelson Spruce, we've had some big-time receivers come through here. But maybe from top to bottom as a group, is this as talented a group of receivers since you've been here?
Extremely, from top to bottom. We talk about it every day, going against the best, essentially. I consider them the best receivers in the Pac-12. and just sharpening iron every day against each other. We really learn from one another.
Yeah, so what does that do for you guys then on the back end of that defense?
Yeah, it just allows you to play confident when you face other receivers. I line up against somebody and I say, you're not Shea Fields, so let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? And I line up, you're not Bryce Bobo, so let's see what happens. I mean, I genuinely think I go up against the best every day. They're very technical, they're great route runners, and they're consistent with their play as well.
Michaela, how about you? I mean, you were a guy that came in here, and we thought highly about that. Boy, he's got the possibility of being a great player. You've really raised elevated your game of your level of play, I should say, this season.
Yeah, just really coming in, getting comfortable with this game. Still new to me, and I think I have so much room to improve still as a player. And that's really what I love about it, is I love the challenge. I love that even in all this glory of taking the W, it still wasn't perfect, and there's still area to improve.
All right, take us down to that last play now. When you seal the victory for the Buffaloes, I mean, earlier in that drive, Tedrick had a shot at one and didn't come up with it. I'm thinking at the time, boy, that was the opportunity right there.
Yeah.
Kind of take us out in the huddle, what you guys are talking about, and then into that final play where you made the interception.
Yeah, actually, so after he dropped the pick, I kind of tapped him on the butt and said, man, we got you got to move on because we have more football to play. And 2 plays later, actually, was the pick. And I really honestly didn't think they were going to go for the win, go for a pass in that situation. And I think that helped me because I looked back seeing if a run was successful, if they ran for a touchdown or something, and the ball's up in the air. So it kind of helped me, and just went up for it and came down with it.
In a play like that, you're kind of jockeying with the guy for position. Was it getting pretty physical at that point in time? Did you think when it left the quarterback's hand, you had a shot at picking it off?
Yeah, definitely. Once I looked, and I mean, I was in position from the get-go on the route. Once I looked and saw it up, I just become the receiver and just go get it.
You know, I think sometimes, too, we get caught up, and your play was fantastic. But if Bryce Bobo doesn't not only make the one-handed catch, but make the 2-point conversion, chances are they're kicking a field goal.
Exactly.
So that was really a turning point in that game, that 2-point conversion catch.
Yeah, that's what I told him later that night. I said, man, people are asleep on how big the touchdown was, just to even give us the opportunity to hold on to a lead.
Yeah.
That came from him with the one-handed catch and the 2-point conversion.
Does this team feel, and that's a great victory, but there's still work left to be done? That one's, okay, we get that one's in the books. Let's move on now.
Move on.
Stay focused, right?
Let's see how much better we can get. That's our mindset.
Yeah, and you get your eyes focused on winning a championship this season.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about Oregon State. What do you think about this ball game back at home?
They're athletic. They're fast at their skill positions. They use the whole field. They play physical. I really like what they do as an offense. They force you to kind of be the better man. And I'm excited to go up against them. We beat them last year, but we know that they're coming back better, improved, just as we are. And once again, we just need to play Colorado football against whoever we play.
And it's always good to be at Folsom Field, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Hey, keep up the good work.
All right, thank you.
All right, now Keller Witherspoon, he sealed that game with that interception. Stay with us in the Stampede for the second week in a row. We're talking with Olympian when we come back. Busy weekend for the Buffs, and you can follow all of it by checking out the media schedule at cubuffs.com. Soccer kicks off the weekend on the road at Arizona this Thursday. The match kicks off at 8 p.m. Mountain Time and being broadcast live on the Pac-12 Network. Volleyball is back at home Friday night for an 8 p.m. game against USC. That match also on the network. Football returns home for their big win at Oregon to take on Oregon State this Saturday. Kickoff is set for 12:30, also on the Pac-12 Network and the Colorado Football Network. Then on Sunday, come back to the Coors Event Center for the volleyball match against UCLA. First serve is at noon and will be broadcast live on the Pac-12 Network. And finally, soccer stays on the road to take on Arizona State. That game is on the Pac-12 Network starting at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. As always, you can check out cubuffs.com for all upcoming games and where you can watch them.
Emma Coburn. No American has won a medal in this event. She's hugely talented. She's very fast. Hyvin Chepkamoy does get the silver. A brilliant bronze for Emma Coburn.
You know, it's a great time to be a Buff. We're here, we're talking about a nice victory in football over Oregon for the second week in a row. We've got Olympian Emma Coburn, 3,000-meter steeplechase, Rio Games, bronze medal. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm really happy, and I'm really happy to be home and back in Colorado, able to share it with all, my friends and family and teammates who helped.
We had Jenny Simpson here last week. Do you guys walk around like Wayne's World when they had the backstage pass with your medals, just going, hey, look at me. I can go wherever I want now?
To be honest, the first night I won it, I did. I went around Rio, and there was one place I wanted to get into, an Omega-sponsored house, and I was like, can I get in? I just won this. And they let me in, and all my friends. So
well, of course they did.
I was shameless about it that one time, and then I've retired that since.
But Emma, you think about it, when you're an athlete like you, your entire life, you're training, blood, sweat, tears, when you finally get to that point and win an Olympic medal, what's that like?
It's surreal, and I hate using that word because it is so overused, but I can still feel physically, all the energy my body had, like the happiness I felt. My heart was tight. I felt, pins and needles going down my fingers and going down my arms, and my throat was getting tight because I was so happy. I can just still feel physically how happy I was because it is, like you said, just a culmination of years of hard work, and the difference between fourth place and a medal is a life-changing thing, and is such an incredible experience. So I'm so happy, and to have the culmination of years of effort happen with a bronze medal, I'm really happy.
And by the way, she set an American record in the process of doing that. Did you watch Jenny's race?
I did, and I was screaming profanities the whole time.
They were encouraging profanities.
Yes, I was so excited for her, obviously, when she finished in third, and Jenny is a fighter. She is someone who that if she's in it with a lap to go, that she will come out on top. And there was a big gap with a lap to go between her and the medals.
Yeah, she'd have come back. Yeah.
And so I had a moment that I was like, oh no, poor Jenny. And then all of a sudden, right away, she came back from it, and she ran really tactically, a brilliant race, and I'm so proud of her. She really earned it.
Now, Emma was one of the athletes, certainly, I was going to say, had a lot of exposure before. I'm not sure that's the right word to use, was it? If you saw the body issue in ESPN, the magazine, what was that like?
That was really fun.
Yeah.
I was offered to do the shoot, and quickly spoke with my dad and boyfriend to make sure they'd be okay with it, and
what did Dad say?
He thought it was cool, and so did my boyfriend. They both respect it as more as a piece of art and kind of a way to celebrate the human body and all that it's capable of. All the different sports and all the different body types that are in the magazine. I think it's a great way to celebrate that. So we went up to my hometown in Crested Butte in May, and it snowed overnight, and so it was very chilly, but it was really fun, and everyone on set's very professional and has done it before. So I was the only rookie, and they all made me feel really comfortable.
Well, let's just say there's a great appreciation for athletes such as yourself, rather than, say, defensive linemen in the NFL. There's appreciation there.
It's cool seeing the differences, though, I think. Yeah.
So what's next for you?
What's next is just back to training, back to work. We have the World Championships next summer, which is the same competition that I faced in the Olympics. So in August of next year in London are the World Championships.
Well, we'll say this again this week, and we said it to Jenny last week. We could not be prouder in Buff Nation. Congratulations. Well-deserved. Keep it up.
Thank you, Mark.
All right. Emma Coburn, bronze medalist in the Rio Games, the second that we talked about here on the Stampede. So congratulations to both to she and Jenny Simpson. Hey, this weekend, Buffalo's back home. They've got the Beavers of Oregon State coming to town. We will hit the air at 10:30. The kickoff between the Buffs and the Beavers at 12:30 on KOA News Radio. We'll talk to you next time here on the Stampede.